At 6:11 a.m., frost on the clubhouse steps, and a whole crowd with phones up the county sheriff taped a court order to the glass that said, "Temporary injunction, Gaze Y hearings granted." And Charlotte Keene, our HOA president, in a red blazer. And a storm of hairspray raised her little gavel like it could stop paper. Then the printer behind her spit out a page that read, "Refund approved," and everybody heard the page land. I didn't smile. I just said, calm as rain, "Read the stamp at the bottom, Charlotte." And that was the first time in weeks my shoulders dropped. I'm Marcus Hale, 36. I wire grocery stores for a living and build decks. When my knees agree a year back, I bought a cedar-sided ranch on Lot 27 in Pinecrest Dunes, outside Lake Talbot, Oregon. Pretty from a distance, pines smell after rain. A wooden bridge over a seasonal creek. A clubhouse where folks play parliament, and an HOA that runs on rules rumor, and whoever shows up earliest with the loudest binder. The morning this whole mess started, 04 a.m., my coffee maker beeped at the same second Charlotte knocked like she was testing my stud's clipboard, the color of wet cement. Violation SV. 1047. You're fined $750 for unapproved exterior color and a non-compliant porch swing, she said with a dentist's smile. I blinked, "Ma'am, the paint is pecan." Smoke. The swing came with the house. She tapped her page. CCNR's 4.3.1 pallet. Only chain. Hung, not rope, hung for safety. You have 72 hours, or 200 a day. Glossy sounded like felony when she said it. I swallowed whatever. Pittsburgh words wanted out, and told her I'd check the pallet and swap rope for chain. Trying to be a neighbor, shut the door gently so it wouldn't be a headline. Here's what I am not allergic to. Rules, allergic to folks who weaponize them. I walked my line shot photos, dug out seller files. Approvals from 2019 with color numbers that matched the siding. Emailed the board with a polite subject line. Prior approvals attached, and 1 hour later got a reply that said, "Final notice," although I'd never seen a first notice, and a warning about amenity suspension and a lien per 7.1.3. No hello. Just hammer that night. My mailbox wore a bright orange. Amenities suspended tag. Pool and gym revoked. I don't swim, but I know what exclusion feels like. I called, got voicemail. Left a decent message at 9:13 p.m. Charlotte emailed, hearing Thursday at 1:00 p.m., which is exactly when I'm on a lift. I asked for 5:30. She wrote back 3 minutes later. Attendance is mandatory, yeah. That happened. Wednesday, my across-the-street neighbor Kendra Lee, a retired nurse with binoculars and a wicked grin, waved me over, pointed to lot. 14 same. Paint. Same. Swing. Same. Fence. Stain. That's the vice president's sister never cited, she said, and handed me a date, stamped photo. Selective enforcement is a sport here, and they figured the new guy wouldn't push back. I started a stack on my kitchen table approvals, in plastic sleeves. Photos with timestamps, emails in order, stickies with section numbers. Then I went to the hearing with my phone on the table, recording 5 board members, behind a folding table. Like a TV panel, Charlotte, in the middle with her prop gavel. We'll keep this brief. The board voted last night to uphold your fines, she said. I glanced at the agenda. No quorum marked. No roll call. When was that vote noticed, and where are the minutes? I asked. Not your concern, she said, and slid a fresh page. Your fence encroaches on common area. Blocks drainage. 10 days to remove it. News to me, my plat said. The easement starts past the fence. Do you have a survey? I asked. She smiled. Do you and I decided right there I was done waiting for kindness. I filed a records request with the county parcel ID or asked for the HOA plat drainage description. Any amendment sent a separate request to the HOA manager for agendas and minutes. From the last 6 months. The board has not approved your request, they wrote. So I mailed the same letter. Certified signature. Required 2 days later. A brown envelope hit my box. The plat showed exactly what I thought, fence inside my line. Easement 6 feet beyond a blue pen. Note from the clerk. Outside HOA maintenance zone, I laid those pages on the table and stared until my coffee went cold. Then Kendra knocked with a thumb drive. Her son's camera had caught board meetings through the clubhouse window. We watched Charlotte at 7:02 p.m., calling a special session with 2 people present and the VP on speaker. We're not waiting on inspections. We'll vote tonight. No posted notice, no open meeting. Our bylaws literally promise to follow state open meeting principles. A boring line that suddenly mattered. I hired a lawyer, Allison Pratt, SmartFast office next to a bakery that makes muffins. Like softballs, she underlined as she read. Hearing scheduled when you can't attend. Strike 1 vote without quorum. Strike 2, suspend amenities before appeal. Strike 3, and your fence is on your lot. They can't compel changes outside without a recorded easement, and she turned her laptop. Mulch contract awarded to Keen Outdoor Services. Same last name as Charlotte, her brother's outfit. That's a conflict. Her plan was immediate. Demand letter. Temporary restraining order, ethics complaint, and a courtesy note. To the Attorney General's office, I swapped my porch ropes for chains on camera printed before and afters, tossed them into a blue binder with tabs that read, Survey approvals, emails meetings, and a petty tab called Things You Said Out Loud, because I typed transcripts of my recordings by hand. I am quiet petty when underestimating is the sport of the day. The county clerk, Geraldine, called. There's a 2003 approval for a cedar swing, chain required, and a 2015 fence approval with a stamp forwarding your open meeting complaint to a deputy AG named Tomas Rangel, she said then. Charlotte posted on the neighborhood Facebook group that I was trying to defund. The HOA hinted my water might be shut off if I didn't comply. A courtesy patrol truck circled my F-150 like a vulture. Kendra texted, Heads up your tires, look delicious to bullies. I laughed and moved the truck. Humor keeps your heart from melting down. Tuesday night, the board finally posted a proper notice. Special meeting 6:00 p.m. I showed up with my binder, my lawyer, and a civil standby. Deputy Kyle Benson, the kind of calm that drains heat from a room. And at 5:50 p.m., Tomas from the AG's office walked in with a ring binder and a voice like a late-night radio host. Neighbors trickled in phones up, and at 6:00 p.m., sharp. The board sat. Charlotte lifted the gavel like it ran on batteries. We're here to discuss non-compliance that threatens standards, she said. Tomas raised his hand for the record. I'm observing on behalf of the AG. I've reviewed your bylaws and several recent notices. We have concerns. Charlotte tried to gavel him. We don't take questions. He put a document on the table. Open meeting principles require proper notice and a chance to be heard. Your bylaws commit you to those standards last. Tuesday's vote didn't meet them. I opened my binder to the plat. Slid it forward. For Pinecrest Dunes easement. Start 6 feet beyond my fence. Here's the clerk's note. Here's my 2015 fence approval. Here's my 2019 paint approval. Here's a photo of the porch swing. With chain time-stamped. 10 p.m. today. Then the video. Here's the vote at 7:02 p.m. 3 people. No posted agenda, and here are your minutes stamped 6:30. Claiming a quorum. Kendra coughed into her sleeve to hide a laugh. Charlotte tried a new lane. You can't record meetings without permission, Tomas said. Your bylaws allow board recordings and do not prohibit member recordings in open session. Last Tuesday was effectively a closed session. Without notice, Allison stood. We obtained a temporary restraining order this morning. It halts fines and lien action until a hearing, and we filed a conflict complaint regarding the Keene contract. Charlotte banged the gavel hard enough to make the mic squeal. Deputy Benson stepped forward, not aggressive, just the presence of rules. With a badge, she had a last card. We'll shut your water off by noon, she said. I handed her a printout from the city utilities manager that read in bold. The city does not delegate water shutoff decisions to private associations. You could feel the air change when her bluff went flat. The vice president rubbed his temples like he'd swallowed a hive. I moved to rescind. Notice SV. 1047 and all subsequent fines. He said. Another board member seconded fast 3. Yes. Then the treasurer met my eyes and said, yes. 4-1. Motion passed. The printer warmed up and spit. Refund approved. And that sound was sweeter than any cheer. The sheriff walked in, taped the injunction next to the corkboard. Any enforcement pending the hearing is contempt, he said. Charlotte looked at a room full of phones and set the gavel down like it finally got heavy. You want that to be the end. But life keeps walking. A week later, the rebid on mulch happened in public. Keene bid the board voted to require bid competition and compliance training. Someone read the removal for cause paragraph out loud. A motion a second. A secret ballot 4. Yes 1. Abstain. And Charlotte packed up in a hurry without her gavel. I'm not ashamed to say it felt good. Not gloating. Good, just pressure, leaving your body good. You know what I mean. Then the hard question landed. Neighbors passed 2 petitions. One to dissolve the HOA, one to reform it. And me, the guy who got squeezed and then vindicated. I signed reform, not because I adore HOAs, I don't, but because I've seen what a vacuum invites bullies appoint themselves and make up fees on Facebook at 11 p.m. Better to nail down bylaws that mean something and force them to be followed than pretend rules don't exist. Some folks called me a sellout in the frozen aisle. Others hugged me by the rotisserie chickens. Both in 15 minutes, welcome to neighborhood politics. Here's what stuck with me long after the tape on that window stopped sticking. A quiet room of neighbors with phones can beat a loud gavel. A single line on a plat map can defend a fence, and a dull little statute number can pull a bully off a chair. You don't have to yell to win. You have to show the page. Ask for section and timestamp. Keep your binder open and your voice even. When they send a final notice, ask for the first when they say, executive session, ask for the law. When they threaten your water call, The city's simple tools. Boring paper steady breath. Now it's your turn to weigh in. Was I right to sign reform and keep a structure that nearly ran me over, or should I have joined the dissolve crowd and burned the whole thing down? Have you seen rule books? Save a place or just punish people who paint the wrong color, Frija? If you've lived through a clipboard power trip or watched a board, do the right thing when no one was watching, drop your story, city and all. And if you want more real fights won with receipts, not rage, hit subscribe. I'll be in the comments with lemonade and that blue binder, 'cause this isn't just my story. It's the manual a lot of us were never handed.